2 things you can do to get your spouse on board with exercise. Number 1, empathize.
Yeah, you can't just like make them or tell them like, hey, you have to do this.
Right.
The end.
And so let's actually say this first. So empathize is you and I have things that we want to get each other on board with. Maybe that's exercise. Maybe that's something else. Maybe it's just trying to get your spouse to go outside and do yard work with you, like whatever it is. But it's empathizing on starting with the communication. You don't want to be too abrupt, and you don't want to be too hard on them. You want to understand where they're coming from. So, for example, you and I, if it's exercise, then I would need to understand kind of what you've done in the past, what works for you, where you're at now. You would need to understand, the things that I've done in the past, where I'm at now, where I want to go. And I think starting with that can be really helpful.
Yeah, and I think understanding like where your current priorities are, and like it may take a second, it may take some more conversations because and I've noticed this like in our everyday life, like sometimes like in my brain I'm like I have my to-do list, which is like I need to clean the house and do the dishwasher and feed the baby, and then your to-do list is I need to mow and I need to do this for work and I need to do this. And so our to-do lists are kind of separate. And so then if I'm going to ask you to add something to your to-do list, you're already thinking of all those other things that you have to do. So like sometimes there might need to be some processing time of like just like empathizing with the fact that like you have a set of priorities and we're going to have to work together.
It's like it's like whenever we start our day, it's especially during the week, you and I are really good. We know what's going on during the week, but sometimes we'll start like a Saturday or Sunday and I'll wake up and I'll say, what is your intention for today? What's in your brain? So let me know. And then I'll tell you what we're going to do.
That's definitely been like the source of like a few arguments or like just like things for us in the past where we're like, okay, well, I planned to like chill and then I want to go to Target, and you're like, well, I wanted to mow, and
yes,
it's always mow.
Yes, it's always mow.
It's always mow in the summer.
It's always mow.
Yeah, so I mean, I think that comes down to like communication. I think that you have to kind of introduce it. You have to have a discussion about it. It doesn't have to be today we're going to go do this, but like just start the conversation, and maybe you bring it up a few times and choose a time to communicate about it where like that your spouse is open to talking about it.
Yes.
Probably not when they're stressed.
And maybe, yes, not when they're stressed, and maybe not whenever they're nose deep in something that they're like really invested in, finding ways to talk about it. Mm-hmm. That can't, and you want to have empathy with that. I mean, it can be gentle. You should know your spouse well enough to know when these topics are appropriate to bring up. It is important. I think it's important for obviously your spouse's health, and then also the health of your relationship with each other. Having empathy with the schedule also kind of means that I have to understand that Rachel going to Target or cleaning this portion of the house today is something that's important to her, and it's a priority. That's why it's number 1 or 2 on her priority list. So if she's planning to do that today and I'm all of a sudden like, hey, let's go do this, then I have to be empathetic that I have to be understanding that she might be frustrated with that change of plans because her priorities were something else, and now I'm giving her this new thing. So that's where we get into talking about the schedule and trying to get it placed in. And
Yeah. So, like, I mean, potentially, I mean, the easiest thing is like going for a walk. And so I think that that's where, on that same note, even if it's the day of, like, if y'all have a chill day, then you can be like, hey, like, I'd really love to end our day by going on a walk, or start our day, or whatever. Let's go walk around the park. But it may even need to be like, hey, I'd really like to start implementing some family walks here or there. Like, next Saturday, can we all get up together and go for a walk?
I love that. I think that these talks can be had easily because I think it feels like, for the most part, everyone's kind of aware of health.
Mm-hmm.
And so this one's a good one. So that the walking segues into our lead by example. So we had two. The first one's empathize. The second one's lead by example. Start walking daily. The lead by example part is, if they say no, just go do it anyway. But don't do it like, well, I'm going to go walk. I'm going to go walk. I'm going to go walk. Like, you can't do it like that. It's just like, hey, I'm going to go walk tonight at 6 p.m. Would you like to go? If they say no, say, okay, cool. Well, I'll just listen. I'm just going to like listen to a book or something. I'll probably be gone for like an hour. Be real nice about it. Just, I'm going to take the dog for a walk, or I'm going to do this. Like, be real nice about it. You can't be catty about it. And you just lead by example. And the next time you go for a walk, you say, hey, I'm going to go walk again tonight at 6 p.m. Do you want to go? No, I'm good. I'm going to stay here and watch the game. Okay, cool. Well, I'll be back around 7. And do it again, and do it again, and do it again. And lead by example. I feel like eventually they'll say, yeah, I'll go.
Yes.
And if you can't do that, then you can start to be like, hey, I'm going to go walk tonight at 6. We've been looking for a house. We can like talk about the budget and stuff if you want to during that. Find something that they want to talk about.
Yeah, absolutely.
Obviously, like, if you are Rachel, couldn't say, hey, I'm going to go for a walk tonight. Do you want to go and talk about
Secret Lives of Mormon Wives?
Correct. And then also you want to have
that wouldn't be very enticing.
And then you also want to have the knowledge. If I was like this huge like football fan and I knew everything about every player, all the stats, you couldn't be like, hey, you want to go for a walk tonight and talk about football? I'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about? So just finding common things that you all like to talk about together. Hopefully you have something you like talking to your spouse about.
I think that it's also maybe like, I mean, Josh isn't into golf, but if he was, I would maybe say like, hey, I'm wanting to like get into some fitness together. Like, next Saturday, like, I'm willing to go like learn some golf. Like, let's go to the driving range. And like, that will be your activity for that Saturday. And then maybe the next time, like, he goes to walk with you, but then you're kind of meeting in the middle and maybe do it like learning a new thing that he likes to do, and vice versa.
Golf is a good one because if your spouse, speaking to like the wife in this situation, if your spouse is playing golf, go play golf with them and ask them if you can just walk. Say, I just want to, I want to take it slow. I want us to spend time together. Can we walk instead of getting a golf cart? That right there is a whole unlock. I mean, your dad talks about how much he walks.
Yeah.
So just that alone, like, go play golf with them and say, let's just walk.
Yeah. Or it could be pickleball, it could be disc golf. It could be like, there's like a number of, little sporty things that people are interested in or may end up having interest in.
Yes.
That would be fun.
But to keep it simple, we come back to just walk.
Yeah.
Go for a 10-minute walk.
Yeah.
Go walk around the neighborhood one lap and then say, let's increase to another lap.
And I think that that's where, if you are somebody that it takes your spouse, like, you're like, okay, I've been telling them I'm going to go walk for like 3 weeks now and they still haven't come along with me. I think that that's where, like, sometimes it does take time. Like, you may, I mean, not in a manipulative way, but if you start doing that, you're going to start feeling better. And they're probably going to notice that your energy's better. And then you're probably going to be like, yeah, like, I feel so good. Like, after coming back and walking, like, I fall asleep easier. I do this. And like, it's not like you're trying to manipulate them by telling them all these ways that you feel better, but if you do talk about it and you are just naturally feeling better, they might be like, oh, I kind of want to feel like that too.
Talk about it in a non-manipulative, and also you can't be catty about it. I think that's the thing with like relationships. You and I, we have great communication, and so sometimes people don't think about those communication languages that you have in there and little things. So just explaining it in a way of, this is something that, you know, is a benefit that I'm seeing, and not doing it as in, don't you want to feel that way
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
For sure.
that one is king for lead by example. And as I said, you can start with 10 minutes. You can go up to 20 minutes,
And
30
just like
minutes.
going outside and walking is a lot easier than being like, hey, come to this gym with me. I mean, like, that's valid and that's fun. And obviously we own a gym. We want you to bring your spouse, but like the walking is a good place to just start.
Yes. It's a good place to start, and it helps them build momentum. And once they have momentum, they've been walking for a few weeks, months, maybe they feel like they need to walk for a year. Eventually, they will make a comment, probably on their own, of, I think I want to start like trying to build some muscle. I think I want to start doing this. They'll bring it up.
But the motivation has to come within them. Like, it can't be forced by you. So that's where you have to like lead by example and kind of like allow them to want that health for
They have to make the
themselves.
decision.
Yeah. And to kind of go to like our other topic is,
So it's still lead by example
it's
here.
still lead by example, but working on that nutrition piece. And I think this is where I usually see people struggle the most within a family unit, is because you have people who have different foods they like. They've grown up with different backgrounds and different things that are the norm, and you're wanting to eat healthy. And all of a sudden I'm like, I want to fix Brussels sprouts. Josh, you should eat Brussels sprouts. And Josh is like, ugh.
It's true. And so understanding, so this ties into both of them, kind of, one, empathizing on their history of nutrition. As we've talked about a lot recently with the staff, is psychology around food and exercise and just the body, health, psychology. So the lead by example part here is nutrition. So a couple things that you could do right away is decrease eating out, cook more.
That by itself will eliminate a lot of like extra, potentially processed ingredients or
You lose a lot of oils
extra
at
calories,
restaurants. Yeah.
fats for the oils from foods. Yeah.
Tastes good, but yeah. So, and then possibly, depending on just where you're at with your lifestyle, is decreasing alcohol. I think the statement pretty much is, how much alcohol is okay? And they say the best amount of alcohol is no alcohol. We understand people have lifestyles that kind of fits into. If it's something that is happening, I'll say this, just decrease it. So decreasing eating out and decrease possibly alcohol use. Those can make big changes. And the lead by example part there is, you be the one to cook. If you can't cook, get a cookbook, get it YouTube, something, follow a TikTok recipe. But you start. You have to start by doing the cooking. You can't be like, if Rachel wants us to stop eating out and I'm tired and I want to eat out, it might not be successful for her to say, we're not going to eat out. You're going to cook steaks tonight. I'm kind of tired. But if Rachel says, hey, I got some steaks I'm going to cook tonight, so we'll just eat at home, I'm more likely to say, okay, cool.
Yeah.
That sounds great to me.
Yeah. And then from there, like under that lead by example with like the nutrition and the exercise, like have some reasons to back it up. You know, when they say, oh, like, why are we going to do this? Or why are you so passionate about this? Or you keep talking about this. Like, be able to tell them, you know, I want to do this because XYZ, these health benefits, you know, this for cardiovascular disease and all these different things. And, you know, some of like being able to explain those benefits might be motivating for your spouse.
So maybe on this,
Not just like, oh, I saw my favorite influencer say that it would be a good idea to eat kale with every meal. That's probably not going to be very motivating to Josh to eat kale.
so there's two things here. One is go do your yearly checkups, even if you are seemingly healthy. Go do it, get your blood work, all that. Make sure blood pressure's in line. Do that. The second thing, I have the slides from our last training. I'll put those in the show notes as a PDF, just the slides that talk about what you're describing, benefits and risk factors. We'll put that in the show notes so that you can, if you're listening to this, then you can download it, and maybe that'll help you kind of have some data. There was some research that we had, so we'll try to put that in the show notes so that you can use that to create conversation. So just to tie all this together and wrap this thing up, so we have empathize with who they are, how they communicate, what their history is, where they are currently, and where they may want to go, how they see themselves, all of those. Ask yourself those questions before you start the conversation. The second one, lead by example, is do the action that you're asking them to do without being catty or weird or pushy. Just do it on your own first. Let them see you do it. And it's going to be easier to have them follow along and jump on board with you.
And in the end, like, of course, you'll want them to share in some of the responsibility that it takes to develop these healthy habits. But at the beginning, if it's something you really want, like, you're probably going to have to kind of take the lead on it.
And I'll end with this. So talking to them, if you're like, I've tried this, and it's not working, then I would sit down with Rachel and I would have a serious conversation that is, we've been married this long. This is the age that we're at. I want us to live long and healthy. For Rachel and I, we have a daughter. We do not want to put the stress on our daughter or our spouse of us having health issues. It is very, very important to me and this relationship and our family that we are both healthy. It is very important. You know, you could probably have somebody in your family that you can refer to. I could refer to and say, you know, this person in my family, we saw them go through this. I don't want to see you go through that. Can we start making small changes? And you can even tell them, I'll let you lead the way. You tell me what small change can we make? Maybe it's something super small. Maybe it's they're going to start by drinking one less Coke a day. Maybe they're going to start with one bottle of water and just try to nail that down. But if you let them know with passion, conviction, and empathy that I want you to live a long, active life, I'm your partner. I need you.
Yeah, absolutely. And like, we could do a whole other podcast on like what we do with goal setting and stuff, but we do yearly goal setting at the beginning of every year with prompts and questions that are kind of like this. And I'm a huge advocate for that because it sets aside a special time where you're both in the mindset of like, you know, what are we happy with? What are we not happy with? Where do we want to go? And then you're both like focused on the concept of like we want to make productive change.
That's good. So just to reiterate that, we have once a year a meeting that we emotionally and mentally are prepared to sit down and talk about things that may or may not be uncomfortable. It's about the past and the future and the present, and it's dedicated time. And I love that because that's a great time that we have like a health thing on ours. I love that because it's a time that would be a good time to address those things
Yeah.
for someone. So
Yeah.
maybe if you don't have those and you don't have a time to do those goals, we're coming up on the back end of the year. It's September. So go ahead and talk to them like, hey, like
Yeah.
goals are really important to me. Can we do one of these couples goal setting things? And then you go through and we have all the different categories and like health is one of them. I
Yeah.
love that. That's great.
Yeah.
Anything else?
That's it for today.